Welcome, everybody. This is San Diego Staple. My name is Julian.
My name is Lindsay.
And San Diego Staple is meant for just a little creative outlet for myself, but also for San Diego as a whole, just to get to know people, get to know San Diegans, businesses, people, and artists. This episode is brought to you by Finest City Entertainment, the company we're going to be getting to know today.
What is Finest City Entertainment? I don't know. It's actually the company that we both work at, where we are right now, and kind of the thread that weaves us all together. So not only are we doing this on a fun personal level, but professionally, we do all things production here in San Diego. The story we'll be sharing with you all today is a little bit of an interesting one. It's actually a very traumatic thing that happened to us as a company last year, but it's the story of how it all went down and obviously seeing how we were able to regroup and be where we are today. So we're really excited to share it with you all.
So I hope you guys enjoy.
And let's dive on in.
Welcome to this edition of Border Boards, brought to you by Finest City Entertainment. I am not your host. Take it away, Julian.
He gets it.
Border boards.
I thought this was live from the non-skid. Is that not?
Word.
Word on the non-skid. Word on the non-skid.
Why did I get in here?
What is the word on the non-skid these days?
I'm too far removed from the non-skid.
It's not.
This is
The
is that
skid is
cooking
no
show.
longer
You're
skidding.
Yeah, you're there's no non-skid. You skidding hard.
I'm definitely
Alrighty.
skidding.
I mean, anyone could kick it off, but this story all started January 22nd, 2024, right?
Oh,
Wait, start it over?
It all began January 22nd, 2024, approximately 9 a.m. This guy, he was there first.
Of course
First
it's me
on the
starting.
scene.
every time. You have
course
to
it's me
be first
starting.
fiddle.
Okay,
The
all right.
post-mortem, right?
Yep.
Post-mortem. All right, so it was a regular rainy day. RIP to my truck. So get out the truck and it's literally just a little bit higher than usual, but I'm like, this is okay. It's never gonna break through the door. It's never gonna take the truck away. It's just gonna go down. There's a drain over there. It's okay. So I go inside. As soon as I open the door, I get inside. I know these guys are behind me at some point. They're there. They're close. Actually, I seen Josh.
We're outside.
Yeah, I walk in and these guys
we
are
showed up at
outside.
the same time.
We all got there at the same time. I just go in first. That's the story. I just get inside first. And so I know that there's water nearby because I parked in the back where I probably shouldn't have parked this day.
We always all parked back there, though.
Yeah,
so there was
for
no
real.
thought behind
So
that
only
being
spot that was
dangerous.
always available parking.
You know,
was
we double
literally-
parked,
yeah.
did whatever it took,
Right. Right?
One of us be parked behind the white van at times.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we always double, triple park that thing. So yeah, just a regular day, honestly. And then
Wait, so you were the first one? You were the very first one in the door?
I was the first one in the door. But these guys are outside. Like that's
We
how it
showed
was.
up like shortly after. I'll never forget. Like you walked in first, and I was right behind you, and you were like, "Oh!" And then I was like, I looked over, and there's Walter running around the warehouse with no shoes on.
Wait,
And-
he already took his shoes off?
He already took his shoes off. His shoes were off by the time I got there. I was just like, man,
Yeah.
what's the word on the non-skid?
How much water was there?
Like, I want to say it was like maybe.
It
like
wasn't a lot. Not at that point.
Like a
When
half an inch.
When we walked in, it was just in the garage.
Yes, it was in the garage. Enough to
it
like
was like
if you're
seeping in a little bit. Yeah.
enough to like when he was like running around, like it was coming up when he would like step. Like so, like that
Yeah.
was like the height of it, but nothing like mission critical. We were both kind of like laughing about it. We're like, oh,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
let's not move
they
on so
wait for-
quickly.
No.
I can't do the double up. Why did you decide to take off your shoes again?
Okay, so I get out my truck and I step in this puddle of water.
Yeah.
So I'm going to the door and there's just water everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I don't want to have wet feet inside the office. Let me take off my shoes and let my shoes dry off so that I'm not.
Got it. So you
No.
stepped in a puddle outside.
I stepped in the puddle
Okay,
outside.
that makes it a lot better. I thought that I thought your thought process was, oh, there's water. I should take my shoes off. Like I didn't realize they got soaked already.
No, they were already done. Like
So
I
you
had
were
like,
water.
you
just
need to
worried
air
about
dry.
tracking in a little bit of water.
I was worried
We
about tracking
wanted
in
to dry
water.
him out
I wanted
too,
to dry them out too.
Got
No
it.
wet feetsies.
When you go down the stairs, I was like, all right, there's no water. Obviously, it's not gonna come up here. Like the top of the stairs right before you go into the office. So I leave my shoes there, and then I know that there's water because I stepped in the puddle getting out the truck. So I go to the garage first. I didn't even put my stuff down. Just went there and I was like, all right, let's get some sandbags. Just immediate thoughts. Let
Yeah.
me get some sandbags. Let me try to do what we normally do because it never goes in. It never comes in here.
Never
it
had.
It stops at a certain point. So finally,
was it raining like was it heavily raining in your like from your memory?
It was
that
already
was-
down.
It was.
Yeah.
It was
I
already
almost,
crazy.
I almost didn't come. I almost because
Yeah.
I was.
'Cause-
Yeah, you were.
From
not
what I
on-
remember, it was
Yeah.
raining the night before as
It
well, and all
was.
through the
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
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 All right.
And
sorry.
I was driving over and like it was pouring when I was driving down the freeway. And I'm just thinking, I've driven through this in Pittsburgh before. Not
Yeah.
a big
Was
deal.
it the same for you? Because like when I was driving on the freeway, like there was nobody else on the freeway.
No,
Like,
there was some people.
I didn't
they were
have
just going,
anybody, and it terrified me.
yeah, well, there was people,
like
but they were
COVID
going
again.
really slow.
No, seriously. Like
really
I
did.
called my wife because it was raining so hard I couldn't see
Yeah.
like 3 feet in front of my face, and like I just wanted to. I just thought, hey, I just want someone on the phone. Like, no, I wanted to hear her voice
Yeah.
if I died, like kind of situation.
Right.
So,
Well, I think the context of it though too is that it had been raining. Like
was
even the
already,
year
yeah.
before, we had such bad rains that there were other things in San Diego, but we were never impacted. So it was
No.
never like
No.
it wasn't like, oh, it's raining, we should be careful. Like it's raining. Like
Yeah, it goes back to like before the flood actually happened. It was the tsunami warning that we had like a month or two prior. I was like,
hurricane.
this isn't.
Yeah.
This
oh, there was
isn't
a
real.
hurricane. That's
Oh,
right.
yeah, it came out and there's
Yeah.
like butterflies.
yeah, literally, it was like calm.
Yeah, so that was mine. I was like, this is nothing. So that's why I had that reaction.
But you put the sandbags.
So I put the sandbags.
Yep.
And then these guys come in, and that's when they're like, this guy's just running around with no shoes. Why does he have no shoes on?
I'm not trying to be an asshole. Like, I'm really not. When I saw that your shoes were off, I thought it was a diabetes thing.
I didn't have diabetes
I
yet,
don't
or
know.
did I?
Yeah, you did. You definitely had diabetes.
You didn't know it,
think
but you
so.
had it.
Yeah, I had it. Oh, I had it. Yeah, I had it.
you
Yeah, I had
definitely
it.
had
Yeah.
it.
I had it, yeah.
Because I was like, wait, was there something wrong with his feet? Like, what's wrong? I was like, is there,
No,
shoes
you're
too
right,
tight?
you're right.
That
I
was the year prior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really fully understand, but yeah. And we got there, and like you gave us orders like right away, like get shit up, get shit up,
Yeah.
get shit up.
Yep.
And so
Yeah.
What was the priority?
The priority was getting sandbags down. And then once it gets by where I'm like my barrier's here and the water's already past it, I'm like, all right, it's never going to get into the office. There's no way. And then it gets into the office and these guys, I'm like, get everything off the ground right now. There's power, everything is on, there's water. There's no way it's going to get into the office. No way. And then it gets into the office.
And then still, even at that point, we're just like, oh, this is bad, but like manageable. Like we
Right.
weren't like
Yes.
it wasn't like full like
felt very
panic
manageable.
mode, right? Like
Yeah.
you went in because your computer, your PC, your big PC was on the ground,
Mhm.
so you ran in and got that up, right? And then
No.
no, you didn't get that up.
I didn't get that up.
Damn, what were you thinking?
Power strips. All the power,
Power
strips. on the
strips.
ground.
Yeah, you didn't want to fry everything.
yeah.
And again, like
we were working with power strips first. so-
yeah. Yeah, no, you weren't thinking it was gonna, obviously get to
No
where
way.
it did, but
Yeah. The
when did you
level-
turn off the breakers around this time?
No.
Or,
No,
oh,
it was
okay,
way-
okay.
that was way later.
We're not
We
even
still
at
got
that part
a
of
whole lot of
the
story.
story. We're not even at that part of the story yet. But yeah, so I'm running around. I'm yelling at these guys like, get everything off the ground. So I run into the office, have them run to the office, and then the water gets into the office. And I'm like, there's no way that this water's gonna get past and go into the kitchen. So we're getting stuff up, and then it goes past me. I'm watching it go down our long hallway, and I'm like, get into the studio. And I go into the kitchen to try to get stuff up there, and the water's going to the studio. And then, so that's when everybody's like, just get into the studio because we didn't tear down from what we did the night prior. We were doing, I forgot what it was.
A podcast,
A podcast.
Yeah.
And we had stuff already out. So I knew that. So once it got past the kitchen, I was just yelling at these guys just to go into the studio and get everything up. And then once we got to the studio and started getting everything up, I was like, the water's in the studio. Get into our control room and get everything off the ground in the control room. And so they're in the control room. I'm trying to pick up whatever I can, the cameras, power, whatever. And then like a few seconds into them in the control room, me in the studio, it was just like a bam. And I thought it was a car outside that just something happened.
Accident, yeah.
Little I looked down the hallway and there's just 5 feet of water just
5
I
feet.
will, I
fucking
will
tidal wave
never
coming at
forget.
you.
Like,
So wait.
I will never, because we were in the control room and we hear the bang, and it's like, it honestly felt like the earth shook at that moment because we're like, what was that?
was
And the
that noise?
first thing we heard was him scream at the top of his lungs, we gotta go! Me and Josh
Well,
come out.
we didn't get there yet because
Have
we
you guys
called them.
called Folly by now?
We called
No.
no. Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot.
no.
texting.
I had
Oh,
texted
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Then you fell off.
because I was supposed to come in. We had our 11 o'clock meeting set.
Yeah, it was a Monday. It was a Monday.
Oh my goodness.
So I got your text at 10:15 saying like, "There's a lot of water in here." I was like, "How bad is it?" I didn't hear from you.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That was it, man.
And then I started driving over, and then that's when I called you, and then you were just like, "It's all good. Don't come in."
I was like, no,
It's all good."
I remember just like telling, like, I was on the phone with you. I'm like, don't come here.
These
Yeah.
guys too.
Yeah. Like-
It was very similar, our call, because I just remember, like, the sad part is it was a Monday. I had every intention of being there, but it was raining and I was warm in bed, and we didn't have to be there till 11, and so
It was a good morning.
it was a good morning. all
Like, who
things
doesn't like
considered.
waking up to like the sound of
Rain.
rain?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I just remember, like, I don't know if it's that you texted me. I would have to go back and look, but I remember then, trying to call you, and you have a flair for the dramatic. So when you say, there's water, there's so much water,
We
it's
both-
everywhere.
That's when you cut to me really quick so you can see the dramatic look on my face. Yeah.
I was
We
like,
both looked at
okay.
each other and we're like, yeah, it's fucking Kyle.
And I'm envisioning, like, it's a fuck situation.
but we
got
were
an ankle's
envisioning
worth
like
of
3
water.
inches of water.
Like, ankles, like, this is gonna be shitty, but whatever. Like, no, not that it's all gone. And after I got off the phone with you, that's when I also called you. I'm like, have you talked to Kyle? Like, this doesn't sound good. And that's about when all three of us were then on our way then to you guys. So
Yeah, no, I was already on my way after I hung up with you, and so I headed over. I went down the freeway, got freeway because it was partly closed, and that's when I was talking. I was like, "Do not take the freeway. Like
Yeah.
the freeway
Yeah.
is underwater."
And again, we both looked at each other. It's just the 5.
well, it's just a single
Like-
exit. Like, we were like,
We're
oh,
like-
we're coming
we're-
off the
we're like
163.
one exit away.
It's right there.
We get it, and we took the 5 like fucking idiots.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
And then Commercial Street, I pull up, and it's just raging river. So I'm like super cautious trying to cross it
Yeah.
when I'm walking, because like you could easily get knocked over. I
Oh
think you
yeah,
guys
we
walked it
linked
too. Yeah.
arms. Like, it was like crossing the fucking.
No, that's what happened. Like when
River,
when we were getting out of there, like I grabbed Walter, Walter grabbed Josh, and then Josh grabbed the 40 by lens, and we evacuated out.
When did the breakers get turned off then? Before the crash through the garage door?
Not until okay. So
The water was already.
So-
in.
what we
okay.
did, what we did was we evacuated because at that point, like we were
tidal
we
wave
were
coming
all,
towards
we were
you.
all very much in agreement. Like, just get out. Just,
Yeah,
just
this is
get out.
unsafe.
Safety first.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it was
so-
so bad. We had to like literally
Yeah,
push
like
and
because
wade
that,
through
that
the
it wasn't
oncoming
just
water.
water. It was cases under that water
Yeah.
that were hitting us. So we were getting hit in the shin.
And this was
Yeah.
directly
We're-
after the sound you described.
yeah. We got hit by whatever debris we didn't pick up.
Yeah.
Like
It was
in
all
the
just
warehouse.
being
It
rushed
all
towards
came
you,
in.
yeah.
So we were getting hit and we were getting battered, and so we just kind of like get out. And so we
That
go.
40 by Dylan's just happened to go right into my arm.
Did it?
Yeah,
Pretty
I'll
much.
never forget. Like because he was so.
He said, "Fuck my computer.
Yeah. No, seriously.
I'm gonna grab our company's 40 by."
Well,
like-
we had only had it a couple months,
That's what
right?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I grabbed Walter grabbed Josh, and then we started moving, and Josh is like, "Wait,
The baby's falling.
It was right there. I was like,
And
let's
he
go.
and he grabbed it.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm so glad you grabbed it. I'm so glad you grabbed it. But we went upstairs into San Diego Made after that, upstairs. And everyone up there is like so confused. Like, what
Are they
on?
yelling at
What
us
are they
down
going on?
there?
They just see us soaking wet.
Yeah.
They're like, what's happening? And none of it, I don't think any of us are like really talking at that point. We're just kind
No,
of like,
it's
we're
more like
both-
shock.
yeah,
like,
we're like,
I
shocked.
remember just being like,
Yeah.
everything is out of here.
Everything's
Everything
gone.
is
Yeah.
out of here. Like
I just
everything.
remember
The
being,
cameras,
being
everything.
cold, and then eventually like they grabbed like random blankets from different offices. And they gave us blankets.
And they're giving us food and sandwiches and shit.
yeah.
Like
It was
we're
so
like
nice of
tornado
them.
fucking victims.
Yeah, exactly.
That was so nice.
And
of them.
that
So
before,
thank you.
before we turned off the power, this did happen. Is we had the blankets and we were kind of like shivering. We were upstairs, and then we're like kind of looking outside because it's like raining so hard still. And all of a sudden, like Walter's like, "There goes our van."
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Oh, because you guys stepped out
Yeah,
around
we
the.
stepped-
Yeah.
We went up
we could-
top.
we could
Yeah, we went up top.
Oh, you were
in
at the
back.
co-working space all the way up.
And then he goes,
Okay.
and he's like, "There goes my fucking truck."
That's exactly how you said it too.
Yeah. I don't have any shoes on, and I just
Always comes back. Always comes back.
I don't have any shoes on, and I realize my truck is floating away, and I'm like, I'm going to go outside and get my truck. So I run outside. So we're inside of the studio. We're inside the studio. We haven't been outside yet. I go outside. I'm pushing the door open because there's so much water. The water's like sealed shut. So I force it open, and then I finally see outside, and I see the river that they're talking about. I'm like, oh, fuck.
So you were pushing open the San Diego May door on Commercial
On
Street?
Commercial Street.
Okay.
I pushed that open. I don't have any shoes on. I just remember not having shoes on because I stepped on everything that could have been out there.
God.
Fucking
Well,
wood.
when you got hit by the water and we were getting out of there, like you couldn't see where you were stepping.
No,
too.
hell
So,
no.
yeah, at least we
No.
had
We were
shoes
slipping
on.
and stuff.
Yeah, we were
This
slipping.
was not clear water. This was
Very
Murky,
dark. Sewer
murky,
water.
dut,
Yeah.
sewer.
Poopy water.
It's the worst.
It's a bunch of.
There might have been all sorts of bad
It's
shit.
all
Yeah.
type of bad.
Yeah.
It's literally all the runoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of it.
Everything. Ugh.
In the commercial side of
Yeah.
San Diego,
Ugh.
like, yeah, no.
The commercial homeless side of
Yes,
it.
Yeah.
yes.
And
Yeah.
then he comes back in and he's just like, my truck's gone.
Yeah, the
like
truck is
that.
over. I see the truck. I see it floating next to the van, and I'm like, I can't even go over there to start it.
No.
And
Yeah.
I had that realization of-
at that point, we all kind of agreed, like, we got to go back down there. We got to grab as much gear as
Try to
possible.
save
And
stuff.
I think you said we got to cut the power to the building.
yeah, because I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know where our power and all that stuff was. I was just like, if we go in this water and everything is still live, we're
Boom.
we're
Toast.
done. It's over. So
Yeah.
all of
Wasn't
this
there,
is
like-
happening at the same time.
Wasn't there like 2 or 3 separate sources of power in the building that we had to kill?
Everything downstairs was on the one breaker.
everything? I think I got to our breaker, but it didn't kill everything. And that's when I was like, we don't know what's
because
up.
San Diego Made was flooding too.
Yeah,
At
it
that-
started.
yeah.
It started
So, like,
because
you
we
know,
opened the door, and that's when the water from us went upstairs to them, and it was like, well,
Yeah,
sorry.
So for safety, we had to kill all the breakers.
For legal
Yeah.
purposes, we're gonna cut this part out.
Well, I think one thing that we kind of like just obviously like the story is so impactful, but like what was this space? Like how big was it? Like there was like 2 points of entrance, right? We had the front door and the garage door.
Well, 3 if you count that.
and then the escape, like
Yeah,
the extra
and
door.
the red door.
So really, like that door, like wasn't part of our facility. Like it went someplace else, and those 2 main points of entrance, you guys could not escape out of.
No,
that.
there was debris. There was the cases.
The rivers going
everything.
down were preventing those doors from even being open. So the only way, like, good, thank God we did have the stairs
red
and
door.
going up to
Yeah.
that door. Like,
Which actually, when it actually happened and we evacuated, I actually felt bad because we actually were the ones to let
I
water.
think it would have happened.
It would probably would have
regardless,
happened, but
it would.
initially the first water was like us opening the
Yeah.
door, like and us stumbling out, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
I will forever be so like enamored with the possibility of like if we were not in the office, because yes, water would have started seeping through that red door, but
Would've
it
kept
would have
rising.
filled.
Yeah, would have kept
Yeah.
rising.
It would have filled potentially to the ceiling where we were, like, which
Yeah.
is what's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, wild.
Yeah.
Like the water line is where you guys escaped, and then
Yeah,
where we
basically.
continue to try to then escape with whatever gear.
Yeah, well, I mean
The
that
initial-
that,
the
that,
initial push.
itself. So we go back down and we open the door and we're in this state of just like go mode at this point.
Yeah.
Just like we're not even really
Yeah.
thinking at this moment. Like we're just kind of like talking like what's the next step? What's the next step? And we're like, how are we gonna get this gear? Everything is floating up in 5 feet of water, and all we see is the door that you installed for the Zoom room, kind of like floating but not quite off the hinge yet.
The
we're like-
wooden
we're-
sliding
so
door.
we were
yeah.
Like perfect.
We're like, rip
Yes.
that bitch off right now.
Yep.
So we rip it off and we push it back to the warehouse where all the water first started coming in. And we had to like, but there's so much water and it's still kind of like flowing in. So it's super hard to get those warehouse doors open. It took like all 3 of us to push the door to
Yeah.
open the warehouse doors. And then eventually one of us had to like stay there and hold it. And then I don't remember who started grabbing gear, but we just loaded the door with as much gear as that it could take. And the moment it started to sink, we're like, go.
Go.
And then we'd push it, and there was I don't remember.
I think
who
we
was
did like
upstairs.
2 trips before you guys showed up.
Yeah,
but it
before
was,
Folly got there first, right?
I think
Oh,
probably
no,
got there
you guys got
after
there
us.
first.
Well,
No, I got
we
there before they
we
got
all
there.
were outside at the same time, and then so yeah, we're outside seeing
We
obviously
didn't know
the
how to
river
get
of
in. We
commercial.
wanted to get in.
Right.
And then since it's
You couldn't
breaking
get in?
off of commercial going down, like we couldn't obviously enter the door on Commercial Street. So the only option was getting up the stairs to the co-working space. But the water was so intense that like there was the fear of getting like flushed, like washed away. And so Folly and Julian, they both go. They go up the stairs in the San Diego May, down, and then through the red door. That was
And
the
then
only way to get
I
in.
see Dennis. Was it Dennis?
Dennis was helping. Dennis was.
Yeah.
I see
all
Dennis in his underwear,
Yep.
and I'm like I already knew this was real because we already walked through the river.
Yeah.
We were already seeing we can't access our own building because
You were on the phone with
It's
Kyle and he was
underwater
telling the
practically.
truth.
and then I see Dennis. Like when I saw Dennis in the skivvies, I'm like, man, that ad, I already knew it, but that added, I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like,
Did he have
this-
abs?
Yeah, he had Dennis abs. Oh yeah, yeah. That's when I started, like, that's when, I don't know why it hit then. You know, I don't know. Dennis is a nice guy. He's doing as much as he can to help us. And then, like, he's right. I see him coming out of, I guess, that red door from what I remember. I don't.
Did he go down with you guys, or he was just helping carry stuff out of?
No. So he was waiting at the door
Yeah.
to help us unload it off of the stairs. and
Because
we
then
go
I
back
took
and do
over
it.
his spot once
So-
I got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
For me, seeing Dennis, and then I literally hear. For me, it was like a one of those. I've told you guys this before, like one of those cave diving movies. That's what it literally felt like.
Yeah.
Because it was, you know, you look down into our space on top of from San Diego Made, and all I see is water, like at my feet, which is, you know, 5
And you're on like the
feet.
5th stair at that point. Yeah.
So I hear my friends down there. I hear them laughing. I hear Walter
Well, 'cause
and
we're
Kyle.
hysterical,
At that point,
yeah.
they're
I think it was more like a
I'm
state of
coming
shock.
up.
Yes.
And I'm like,
The
oh, it's
echo too from all the water, like it sounded like you guys were in like submarine static, like down there. Like,
So I mean, yeah, I hear my friends down there, so I'm like, I have to go down. Like, there's no thought. There's no thought.
You just
It's
get
like,
in.
like, you know, well, fine. Subconsciously, I knew I wasn't gonna die. You know,
It's just a little water.
It's just, you
Nobody's
know.
gonna die.
well,
but
luckily
no.
no one had any open wounds or
Right.
anything like that.
Someone
'cause
could've
who
died.
knows
Someone
what kind
could've
of
fucking died.
infections could have been susceptible to at that
He didn't
point.
have his shoes on.
But I'll play the first thing because this is the first thing that I was captured, and this shows the water at its like highest. Because this is now me standing at the top of the red stairs, and yeah, at this point it's already starting to recede. But
Jeez.
like
I forgot.
seeing that and hearing like everything going on down there, like there's just a beeping. I'm crying because like this is fucking crazy. I'll re-rack that, but like.
Well, like
Our
right-
fridge is
rightfully so.
bobbing.
Like,
Like-
can we just like take a moment to like what you're experiencing right now is like this is everything that we built. It's not like someone came in and built this for us. Like we took years building this studio up and building it the way that we wanted it, and to just see it all wash away like that, like just in a flash.
It's terrifying.
If it wasn't so like near and dear, right? Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, if it was
that's
just a
what-
building that we were just renting, then like
Yeah.
you know, everything was already built and things like that'd be one thing.
No,
but we
every-
grinded those floors.
Every
ourselves.
aspect of that
Like-
space we touched.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
transformed.
It wasn't just our workplace, like it was like our clubhouse, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was near and dear, and like we knew it so intimately, and it was no small space either. What was it, like 4,000,
5,000.
5,000
yeah.
square feet? So when you think of how much water, I still want someone to do this
volume
math.
of
The
water.
cubic volume of how much space got filled with almost 5 feet of water is like, it's just absolutely insane. And at this point, I was recording this in between you guys, coming with. It looked like Titanic. It looked like the door that Rose is floating on. Instead of Rose, it's carrying our precious gear, whatever we'll try to save.
Still no
and
room for Jack.
Still no room for Jack, but you know.
We tried to
fuck
put Josh on
Jack.
there. Like, Josh, you're gonna have to stay in the water, bro. No, actually, like it's something I remember that I don't think we really talk about much is like how cold. Like it was
January.
just so effing
was
cold, and the moment you got out of the water, it got colder too.
It was
to the
terrible.
point like you almost want to be in the water because at least your
stay warm.
body is like gotten
Acclimated
used
to it, yeah.
But you're in this like poop water.
So, I mean, we're obviously freaking out. We're good at freaking out. This guy, I'm wondering because he's not freaking out. Like he was still like being kind of like reserved.
Oh my
And,
goodness.
you know, obviously at the moment, I'm wondering what is going through his mind. But obviously, like you know,
Everything's happening.
everything's happening. But we're good at expressing our feelings. we're like at that moment.
because like you came in and I almost like everything like stopped for me the moment you entered the space and like I stopped because I was like we were just trying to figure out among ourselves like what to do, and then like obviously you know you're the leader, and so we're like I feel like everything stopped for a second. Like, I was
Yeah,
like,
no, I feel like
what
that.
do we do, boss? Like what do we do? And you stayed quiet for a second, and then you just got in the water. But what was going through your head at that point?
No, I think for me, like it was before I got in. It was while I was crossing the raging commercial
Rivers.
street, because like just the way that the water was, how fast it was moving, and how high everything was, and all of our little windows were fully covered.
If any of those
And-
would have busted, oh my.
Well, no, I mean, and to me at that point, I'm legitimately thinking like it's an aquarium, like
Yeah.
it's gone. So like, I deal with that. I'm just thinking like, like, are you guys okay, or are we okay? And then like just all the bullshit from behind it. It's like, okay, are we done? Are we not? How are we going to move forward? Like we have
Already
to go to
thinking.
Vegas tomorrow. Where am I going to, like
That's another story.
all these things have to happen. So it's like I get in just to make sure like, you guys are still good. And if we're still good at that point, like I've already written off all the gear. So the fact that we saved what we could, like awesome. But I just figured it was all gone. And so obviously trying to like figure out what to do to the landlord and like insurance and, all that stuff. I'm just like trying to tally that stuff up. So ultimately like, it was just, I guess, coming to like an acceptance really quickly. Cause like, there's no point in denying it. Like just seeing that is just like, okay, I'm not gonna put out hope like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
all
So once I was able to just really take that in, it was just like, okay, well, this is done. So what's next and what's next and what's next? So it wasn't like I wasn't being calm. I was just like, my brain was so full of like, where do we go next? Because like now is done. Like there is no more now. So tomorrow, day after, because like your livelihoods are all on the line. My livelihood's on the line. I don't know how much gear we lost. I don't know how much all this is going to cost. I don't know how it's going to affect all of our, our work and our clients moving forward. Like, did we really just lose all of our jobs, or like, are we going to be okay? So, yeah, shit was crazy.
The crazy thing is that we were all wondering that, but we didn't have the weight of owning the company.
Yeah.
We're all, we're all friends first. But one of us has to carry the weight of everything we've built. So, I mean, yeah, it could have been easily, we could have all, at that moment, I really do think any other company would have folded. Any other company at this stage that we were in, we were thriving for sure. But I think another business owner would have thought, not put us in as much like our employees as much consideration as Folly did. I believe that
For sure.
That's something I'll piggyback off of that. Is that something that I really
stealing my ideas.
No. Yeah, always. That's what I do.
Piggyback.
If I can take anything from this experience, that because it was a traumatic experience and we could have lost our lives, and in a way we did lose like a big part of ourselves with what we built, but at the same time, like to be able to like rally, like I don't think I'll ever forget you two. And just like how in sync I was with you guys the moment everything like the shit hit the fan, and then when you guys got there, and then we were all so in sync to like we already knew what the mission was, and we didn't have to say anything, and that's a testament to like to show just like how often like how much we've worked together, like how good we are together, and it's not to be taken lightly. I'm gonna have that for the rest of my life, like those moments of like. When the shit hits the fan, this team is on, and that's a testament to you, Fale, as well. Like it was kind of amazing to see, because Julian's right. Like I want to say like 90% of businesses probably would have folded.
Not even would have folded to survive. They would have continued. They probably would, but they would have cut all of us off, and they would have,
You all went to Vegas the next day.
Yeah.
Was it
Can we talk about that?
We
that?
had to pick up the gear from Kurt the next day, and we were driving to Vegas, Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it was.
So it would have
'Cause
been,
the
we
show-
departed on Wednesday. So Tuesday was
So
like
Monday-
the day to get everything.
Julian and I didn't go, but the rest of the team went.
Well, because that night after we obviously saved as much as we physically could, we took it and tried to blow dry things. Take apart decimators,
do you have any of
blow
those?
drying
Do you have
stuff.
any of that?
I don't have any of the actual drying of stuff.
Josh has some of
If
that.
it's in the folder with my stuff, it's there somewhere.
The drying
But,
of stuff, I'll take a look.
No, that
but-
in itself was crazy. Like we
So we're like we're pulling
some of the
after
stuff
already
right
a
there?
traumatic day. We're like pulling then like an even later night to make sure like everything still like survives. Like what can we actually take to Vegas with us? That was kind of the big thing. Like what do we need to make a show happen, and what do we have to sub rent
and that
try
probably
to make
drove
happen?
the driving force of why we had to try to dry stuff off
fast.
and figure out
Do it
like
fast,
it's not only to try to save, but try to, I guess, see what we can use, I guess.
Before we
Yeah.
even got there, like this is still the day of the flood. Like we all went up to had a powwow upstairs, and Let's Gonna Follow was like,
Are we doing
are we
Vegas?
are we still gonna do this? And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm in my freaking towel, like I think we can still do it.
The towel.
There it is.
You look like a hobo.
Oh.
Yeah. At that point, all the water had finally receded. but
crazy.
yeah, no,
The
Walter
waters
and the
did
towel.
recede.
I think I have you
Towel
here
and no
again.
shoes.
Here. Yep.
Yeah, there's more.
We got one last stream in the studio.
We had our one
Yeah.
final
Yep.
event the day before.
That's crazy.
You know, like
But that image right there, I want print that image right there.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that,
crazy.
It's already
the
printed.
water's
It's framed
still
in my
there.
house.
It's
Oh yeah.
it's
a
not.
life lesson.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Yeah, that water's so nasty. Oh my God. We were in that.
Julian actually takes the phone into the office. But I mean, yeah, this is, I mean, you can
We
already
saved-
see the water line is receded like almost, half of where it was. Like you can still see all
And
that.
you're still walking through, like he's
Shit.
hitting things on the way. Like,
Oh yeah.
like he
At
can't.
that point, none of us
there's-
hesitated. We're
no,
just,
like you like are clearly hitting, or not clearly, but you're hitting things walking through this.
Yeah,
That's why
I
it's
don't know.
taking
I'm
him so
surprised
long.
you still haven't talked about the Loch Ness monster that like dragged me under the water.
Oh my
Oh
God!
my
Can we talk about that for a split second?
I didn't. I would want to bring it up
I was
because
gonna
I
say
felt
it.
bad
I was gonna say
because
it. Okay,
Folly
okay.
was
Yeah,
there
no,
one moment
please.
and then he wasn't there the
Okay,
next.
this is my story. This is my.
They're all your stories, Kyle.
You can have them all back. I want this one. I want this story. So I will never forget. So like,
God.
It was a fucking eco flow.
oh man. So
I kept hitting that thing all the
like
way.
at this point the water hasn't
That's
receded,
what we
right?
saw.
So
We
we're-
still got
it's
the
like-
you're at
Oh,
chest
yeah,
level.
Yeah, we're at like chest
yeah.
level. And so if you're shorter than like 5'3",
Good thing all you guys are
you're
tall,
submer-
yeah.
you're like, if you're under 5'3", you're submerged at that point. And so Folly's behind me. I think we're going into the studio, trying to like pry the door open because the wall came off.
Yeah.
Like so the wall was
That
like, kinda,
wall
like, sitting
caved
like
in.
this.
Yep.
And
so
he's
we're-
still being quiet, so I'm still wondering.
Yeah.
Even at that moment behind him,
Yeah.
I'm like, I wonder what he's thinking.
And but like we're walking and Folly's behind me, and all I hear is a whoop, and then I turn around and he's gone. I'm like, there's gators in here.
Oh my
I'm like,
God.
you're throwing gators. Like, what else could go wrong? And he comes out.
Jumanji.
He swat. The moment he came up, I knew he had like a good gulp of that water. Like I figured, I'm like, because like he felt like
No, I did not ingest.
you didn't just. I thought you chugged.
What did you
Face, the
trip
face.
on?
It was the eco flow.
I would like
Ego
go back
flow
down.
was-
I feel like
You slipped though. You stepped on something that took your feet
I
out from
honestly
under
don't
you.
remember. All I know is I'm standing and next thing I'm underwater. Like
I feel like
that's-
it was the table in the lounge because I tripped over that thing a few times. I tripped over that.
I don't know what took me out.
Oh, guys, do you
But,
remember?
you
do you
like-
remember the table in the conference room that like
Yeah.
somehow it was like it got lifted up by 5 feet of water, and then when the water receded, it was still up.
I think though we got.
I have it. I
was
have
like,
to find it.
Like I don't know how, because
Like,
that
you've seen
table's
those-
heavy.
It is. You've seen those
But
pictures of, like,
wood
boats that, like,
floats.
float.
Oh, like a duck.
So it was
Oh, sorry, what were you saying?
floating.
Like after like a hurricane, or whatever, like you see the boats that are like all
or a house
random,
on a car or whatever.
What is that?
Oh, remix.
I don't know if we see it here.
Oh, your wall, Lindsay. Your
Oh,
wall.
don't get me started.
Tell
Where's
us about the wall.
I know. I'm trying to find the conference room table though, because that was just freaking priceless.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
here
owl-
it is. Here it is. Here
the
it is.
owl, right?
The owl.
Okay, yeah. It is off the ground.
Just like hanging off a ledge there.
Wow.
Jeez.
Oh man, tonight in San Diego's right
What
there.
I think got me so much too was like how much the water just shuffled everything. Like things that were on like one side of 5,000 square feet are on the other side. Some things in the same spot,
That's-
but
And that's Walter's truck in the background.
Oh, it
Beeping?
is.
That is
Oh, no,
your
no, no.
truck.
There's the van. The van.
Oh, that was
yeah,
my
yeah,
truck
yeah.
too. My truck was
one of
doing
them.
that too. That's
Yeah.
it's RIP.
RIP, RIP.
Bella.
RIP.
Let's see here.
But again, it's all that pride we took into space. Like all in that one image, all the pride we have, some force of nature God, the earth, just decided to shake things up a bit, you know?
Yeah, well, even look at this still image right here. Like,
There you go, man.
right there. That's the table.
That was in the
that was in the common
in the
area.
Yeah.
Zoom room. That was the Zoom room, wasn't it?
No, that was the one that was the coffee
for the
table.
yeah.
That's
In
the
the
coffee
It
table.
made it all the way to the warehouse.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
How did that happen?
Water is
definitely my truck.
Water is a
That's
fucking
definitely
force
my
of
truck.
nature, man. Water, I mean, obviously, right? Like,
Dude.
What's crazy too is that like if you're looking at where these cars all were,
They
like
all
it was
shifted.
a white van, it was a red truck, and it was like literally they were all, and it just the water lifted them so much that it just there was so much water in that area. Like it was literally a pool. It was not even a pool, it was a lake.
That was another moment for me too. When I was upstairs, I was trying to get on the phone with insurance, and I'm looking out and I'm seeing the van just float around. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like the van.
That's-
Like, okay,
that's
that
It was
table,
gone.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
this picture does it the
that
best.
defies all the rules of physics and gravity.
Especially since it's
Like,
on a rolling chair
like,
and
I
it's
don't
like balancing on a single one of its wheels.
That's what's blowing my mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would say
bananas.
the van is a reference point for me, but like the van, just like our new cat, because we just got the G2s too as well,
Yeah,
right?
we'll come back to those. We'll come back to the
Ursa G2s,
studio.
yeah.
We haven't hit the studio yet or the broken wall. I'm trying to see if there's any more of the vans.
I'm surprised my truck survived, but I've never been more happy to park on the hill, boy. Holy shit.
Did I eat something off the ground?
Yeah.
Probably. You're smelling it.
See
at
the
least.
lack of hesitation?
And I'll go back to the gate right there. So those two photos are the point of where it breaks. So so you see the track. So the gate's supposed to be in the track.
Yeah.
So on that side, whatever, that's like 1.5 feet. Maybe the other side, I think it's almost 4 feet
on
worth of
top. Go
it
back.
coming off to the next photo.
Oh,
Or the
next
one before
yep,
that.
Yep.
Yeah. So what's that?
on that
Four
side,
4 feet where the gate just breaks open.
That's what you get. That was the crash. That was what you heard, right? That giving
That
up.
was it right there.
That was our steel door giving way to freaking.
I just, again, it's one of those extreme moments that you don't know how to react other than accepting that, everything is just gone, right?
We were like hysterical too. Like we're like laughing at things. Like it's just like, how do you process it? Like it's trauma, right? Like
Totally.
You process it, but
was
just
very traumatic.
taking it a minute, every 1 minute to the next, I guess.
Basically.
bye.
All right, I was happy. Yeah,
I
I was happy that I was gone. Yeah. I was over that. This is what started. This is what started hurting. Really hurting was the aftermath.
Yeah.
Was this day the cleanup?
Yeah, I don't
Like,
have much of
You
that.
called it in, so like you called in like 2 huge.
Oh, more than 2.
Yeah,
We probably
like-
had 4 different.
Yeah, we had
dumpsters.
4 by the end of
But
it.
just take this moment to thank everybody else that came out to help with the cleanup.
Yeah.
There was a
Seriously,
bunch of
though.
people through whatever, Facebook, Instagram, people we call, people that heard about it that
Yeah.
just came through,
JD came
got
through,
dirty,
like,
got messy.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah, no, Dennis Michael.
Dennis Michael.
Yeah, no, we had,
AJ
I mean,
came
we're not
through.
going to name everybody. I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
I
David
forgot.
forgot.
Gaskell
Definitely
came
gonna forget.
through.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It helped us get all the water out of there.
David
I have
Gaskell put in
that
some
too.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
he
no,
put in
we
some work,
had
David.
some amazing people come through and help us out, so for sure.
I mean, San Diego, I've been living here my whole life. I've never seen anything like this. I never thought anything like this could happen. No, I just 30,
That's the
30,
closet
30
where
years
the-
of my life, I've never seen anything like this.
Is this my video?
I don't know. I just pulled everything from.
Okay.
I don't know who's.
I think this
whose.
is mine, yeah.
This is early on because obviously we haven't opened things up yet, and
Can we
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like let everyone know that we saved our little bits of the wall of the mural? We each have our own
Lindsay,
little
I thought
piece.
you hit record, man.
It is
The
recording.
multi-recorder is recording? Or
Most
does-
recorders record.
All right, so I didn't have to
Timeouts.
hit that.
Yeah, I stopped that
You stopped
because
the
the
main.
multi-quarter is also output 1. Yes, you're good. You're good. You're good.
This is brought to you by
I don't do
Lopez
the multi-
Scoggins
This is why we need to have this beat. This is San Diego staple. This is
Oh
not.
my gosh.
And there's the soundbite right there.
Oh my
That's
God.
all I
Lopez
needed.
Entertainment.
It was all a ruse to get that soundbite right
you
there.
go.
We definitely went to Vegas after this.
Oh my gosh, we did.
I was worried that I was only worried I would have I was wondering how decision making was going to happen in such an emotional state. So obviously we were pretty logical about a lot of things. We have to service our clients. We have to go. There is no way around it. I think we landed on there is no way around it.
Especially since it was so last minute.
Exactly. So what do we do in that position? Well, we have to. So it's just
I voted for you guys not to go. I was like, there's
no way. Like, but
I
that's
was
also
like-
a valid.
I was
That's a
like-
valid approach too,
Yeah.
right?
I was like, there's no way.
If there was a
Like,
time for you too, it would have been the most appropriate time. But at the same time, to like Julian's point, like
last
it
minute.
was 48
Yeah.
hours before they're expecting us. Like
way.
there's a certain level
And
of
just to make it
like
clear, like I would never force you guys to
no,
go.
we
No,
decided
yeah,
to.
yeah,
no,
Like,
this is-
no.
They pulled us all out, and he goes, "Okay,
No,
are we
it
going
was-
to Vegas? Are
Yeah.
we doing it?"
we definitely talked about it.
And yeah,
definitely
and you guys went and like, but I know because me and Julian were the only ones not to go, and like we even had a shoot a couple days after this, like that was local San Diego, and we were still fucked up. So I couldn't imagine what you guys were doing
Yeah.
on the road, loading in ballrooms.
what did we do?
Like,
Where were we?
You guys are shooting
it-
Angel
Yeah, it
Con.
was Angel Con.
Oh
We're
yeah.
doing those
Interviews.
records in the hotel room.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that was my first video.
Oh.
My first.
Yeah.
I do remember pulling that box out and thinking.
I love when the water all like comes cascading out of. But mind you guys, like that's our toolbox, and that literally had every single decimator, every single like multi,
You can
you know,
argue the show
HDMI
runs through
splitter,
that
SDI
toolbox.
splitter,
A show
like
is
It's
capable.
super
possible.
heavy all on its own.
oh, let
I
alone
can
when it's
imagine how
just all the water just.
heavy it was with the water too.
And look at all the dirt.
God. We saved pretty much every decimator out of that box.
Pro tip: open them up, blow dry them out, put it back together.
This
They
is
work.
brought to you by Decimator.
Wait, that's not the Yamaha. Wait, that was for the Lenovo. Or
That was the Lenovo. This is
Okay.
the office. So guys, like, yeah, like the office. This is our desks. Unfortunately,
desk
I mean,
right
we
there.
had
That's
personal
Lindsay's.
items. We
That's
had.
Lindsay's, and then behind that
Look
is
at where that
Foley's.
water line is. It's like a foot and a half above
No,
my
if
desk.
Everyone that if we were all sitting down, we would have been completely.
submerged.
Yes, we totally would.
Lindsay's.
That's Lindsay's desk.
I was.
Like,
her degree just floated away.
Yep. There was a MacBook Pro that was. It
That's
took forever to
Foley's. That's
find.
Foley's
There's
desk.
Foley's desk.
is that the Lacey?
It's a
that's
chair.
Oh, okay.
I don't think we thought about the Lacey just yet.
No, the Lacey's.
all the
Julian and I
baseball
went
cards.
down.
All the baseball,
All the
yeah.
baseball cards.
My Laker cup.
Oh my gosh. When we all were upstairs, still in
there's
San
your-
Diego made, while there was still water down there, at a certain point, I was like, we need to go grab the Lacey's. And that's when I went down and I grabbed them. But, you know,
that's
Taking a dive.
that's Lindsay's phone too. I think that was me.
yeah, you're holding my phone. And just, yeah, that's a tour of where we used to work.
Man,
Oh,
painted those walls.
the freaking redistricting map.
yeah.
Oh.
Man, like I know I did it more. I did it more than anybody else, but I loved showing this space off so much. I was so proud. I was so effing proud of it. Like anytime, I'll do the tour. Hey, this is what we're doing. You know, like yeah, this was a tough one.
It was a tough one also because just timing, right? Like we were, it was the beginning of the year. Oh yeah. We kind of got certain things like ironed out, whatever it was. But like we were all on and like we had a breath of energy, and we were ready to hit the ground running for the new
Our
year.
keg.
Hold on, then 23 just for us overall, like with clients and professionally, like it was just a good up year.
So we were like going to head with that momentum. Like,
Yeah.
R.I.P. my sweater.
Sitting on a chair.
Definitely had
the
Sterling's pants on.
credenza. Oh, and also too, like we built like all of this furniture. And so like that was just so frustrating. It's like, damn it.
You know, it's just crazy to think that when we were upstairs in the small office, and then, you know, we were really trying to think about going to a new space and getting something bigger, and downstairs was available, and then we had the drawing, and I showed you guys, and we walked through and signed the lease, and then got the people to come in and build the walls. Like,
And then
it's just crazy. We saw it come up and we saw it go down. Like,
We
We
pulled-
did. I didn't even think about it like that. That's hilarious.
We watched it go up and we watched it fall.
We saw Rome within the span of fucking like a year and a half.
I don't think I'll ever
3
forget
years.
that night where like we all left at like 7 a.m. because grinding the floors.
Grinding and
you were
staining.
you were
Yep.
telling us what to do, and we
Ridiculous.
grinded the entire warehouse.
I was telling them that's the only thing that actually is gonna last is the polished floors.
Probably still pretty over there.
They're scraped up, but they're still polished. The paint may be like. See there, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
no, at that point,
At
we're all
that
just,
point,
yeah.
we're just delirious. Like it's
And
just
we're done.
like,
We're
how
done.
do you process?
at that
any
point,
of
I'm just
that?
I'm like I might as well just enjoy playing in water, I guess. Like that's how primal. Like I just went back to. I'm like, fuck it. This is just.
Yeah, and when the water finally started receding, obviously it's all coming out this way. So
There's
this
the
right
Yamaha.
here, that right there, I think is the most amazing thing.
So
so
right here.
it literally was at the filter point of like
What are you
how
talking
many
about?
tons of
The
water
Yamaha?
coming
Oh,
out.
the Yamaha.
Our
The Yamaha survived.
12-channel Yamaha.
Okay, while
Still
we're talking
in
about
same
things that
case.
are surviving and like good quality
Still
products,
in
if you're
case.
picking up good
Yeah.
products, please go to Astera.
Find the photo.
This
of
is
the
brought to
Astera.
you by Astera. You want to hold it?
Yes, I will.
Tell the story, Josh. Tell the story. Come on, Josh. Come on. Come on.
Here,
Tell
I'll
them how badass
almost to
these
the
things
photo
are.
once I
We
get
were
it.
walking
Gotta
down the
just-
hall, and just
Yeah,
there should be a
there it
video
is.
of this
There it is.
here.
There is.
And
I'll
then
first go
just
here.
pop in to look into the door, and
that.
this is just sitting there, still working, still doing its flame
Still upright.
program.
Still
And
upright.
it would have been completely submerged.
Completely
Yeah,
because
submerged.
it's
completely- you
just
can see the
higher.
line, yeah.
Yeah.
And this
And-
is one of them that was in the flood.
And they still work.
Where is the
Go
videos
and
of
buy
crazy.
Astera stock right now.
Oh,
And-
also Astera, but also Pelican cases. Like
Pelican.
everything that
Get
was in
your
the Pelican
waterproof
case survived.
cases. Okay,
Yes,
here we go.
sir.
Everything
So
in the Pelican case
imagine,
survived.
like, this door is caved in too, but we just see, little old Astera in there.
Everyone's on the phone.
Look at this.
Oh, 2024.
While we're in there, I kicked the camera. I'm like, I can get the camera. Let's bring it back.
So
That
we
door's
had we
out.
had rented like a bunch of pipe and drape with bases that were against the wall in the other office, and with the sheer force of that tidal wave, that case got pushed into the wall, which buckled the whole wall.
It could have been bad.
But look at Astera
But look
go.
at
See, you
Astera
can see the
go.
line. You can see
Yeah.
the line, the receiving line. So that Astera was completely submerged in the
Completely.
water.
Yeah.
It just stayed upright.
I love too that it was red, and we were talking about
Right.
this the other night because like that
was
looks
good.
like the emergency color when like all the electricity goes out in a boat or something.
So
So,
No,
it's
for-
just
for-
like
we just watched Last of Us like right before this.
Oh
So
my-
for me, it was like going into like a Last of
was.
Us fucking scene.
we were talking about that for sure. It was Oh my gosh. But
you
yeah.
can't see it in the shot, but just so everyone knows at home, like that's our video wall that's right there that just got complete. Like we put so much time and effort into that building.
We
that
even
ourselves.
repaired it after someone cracked one of
Yeah.
the screens.
Yeah, we don't know who did it. Think Raven.
But that video wall, I saw a photo of you and Walter playing Mario Kart on it when we were first putting it in.
So that's how far the water came up on the back of the video wall there.
Do you remember how excited we were when we first turned it on?
Well, we had four 75-inch TVs cascaded in a 2x2.
and we
So you're looking at a 150-inch diagonal
we used
worth
the
of
hell
video
out
wall.
of that thing. Used the hell out of that thing.
But yeah, I haven't played these yet, but the most devastating was, the actual control room.
Oh, for sure.
So,
Everything broke down.
in the studio. So after you get past the door that buckled, and we had the whole set still set up from the Dungeons and Dragons podcast the day before, right around the corner was our amazing control room, and everything got under. Like you can see, like obviously, and just the racks below,
So much time.
and just. It's just this was the most harrowing, especially since like the day before
See
we were in
the
there.
SM. The
It was at least
yeah.
mounted high enough,
that's a.
but we literally ran a broadcast
still
out
have
of there
those
the day
TVs.
before, and
That's
just
one
that
of them, yeah,
duality.
Is this one?
Oh, no. That's the one from the hallway that had the calendar on it, I think.
Yeah, this one like
I like fine, flood us, fine, but just don't give us all the dirt and sewage. Like it just gives it that extra layer of like just
Shit.
terror,
terror
like
and
just
shit. Like look at the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Folly, like I remember
everything
every
else,
piece
believe
of
in
those things
Nintendo,
that Folly
please.
would like install, and he was so happy. He was like,
I mean, we spent so much time planning this out and designing it and wiring it and making sure it was all
You-
good,
you,
routing
you
it.
were down in there dirty, just
It was
running
fun.
those.
Oh,
like,
yeah, when
routing it,
Folly and I
you
were
yeah,
doing
you were
that,
down there
that
too.
was-
Yeah, like
there was
you
so
guys spent
much.
hours down there.
All the internet runs. Oh my God.
I don't know who I'm
were talking
talking
about?
there. I don't know.
Definitely.
yeah, we don't know what we uploaded.
Probably you on the phone. Don't come in. Don't come in.
That's probably what I was. Yeah, that is probably
Everything's
exactly what I was
gone.
talking about. Everything's gone.
What?
RIP to the PS5.
Why?
And the
Really
Xbox
lives on.
Series X.
PS5 and
That
Xbox?
So I got the last PS5 from the Target in
Didn't
South
you-
Park.
Didn't you come in with both of them?
But they were back to back, like a couple days apart.
Yeah.
But that's when nobody could get them because it's during COVID.
It was such a hard flex.
And I was like, no, we're getting this.
Yeah, we were
shit.
like the first ones to have it. I'm gonna show them.
hard
I think I
flex.
actually like show them here at the end. But yeah, this is the common area, and yeah, we had our projector. There's our fridge. It was bobbing like an apple.
Oh, this is the key part right here.
Oh yes, everything up there survived.
Oh my God, everything is still.
I got
That's
one-
probably still over there. I'm about to have a
I
drink
thought
right
about it,
now.
I put it back, and then I got the bigger bottle.
If there was ever a time
Oh,
for
that's so
I need this.
We were like
Wow.
saying, yeah, we were saying, oh, it's definitely gonna warm us up. It
Oh
sure
yeah,
Hey,
no,
no,
that's
no,
facts.
seriously, like,
that's
facts.
That's facts.
If ever there was a
It
time for
so
drinking.
cold.
Yeah.
It was so cold.
Yeah.
Wait, we're gonna find my shoe at one of these videos. One of these videos
Well,
has
the
my
bright
shoe.
red, the hard to miss.
That might be it.
You know-
right
I think
there,
it is.
actually.
I think it is.
That refrigerator
Nope.
was never
That's,
leveled.
that looks like your shoe. That's your shoe.
Definitely one.
That's
Definitely one of them.
Oh, I just said it too. I was like, Walter, there's your shoe.
Oh, that's funny.
I actually do go get it.
Get it for you.
Oh, that blender too. I
my
forgot you had the blender.
Man, when I brought that blender, you were all, every day.
I'm
Oh,
glad
it was
that
a
blender's
vitamin
gone. I'm like, Walter's here.
Walter.
Walter's here.
Some people cook. I blend.
Stay blended, my
I
friend.
don't steal, I kill.
There's the shoe and my
That-
towel.
Well, the best part is we found the second one of your shoes
Days later.
in where the video telepathy office was behind that door.
Oh, wow.
So like the fact they were on like polar opposite.
It's crazy.
Well, yeah, there's the
The keg.
the keg and then the
We got a squeegee.
PlayStation
I got a
is
squeegee
down
like I'm a
there.
squeegee that fucking all that water.
All those runs, dude.
Yeah, the PlayStation 5 is somewhere submerged there.
And this was right after Christmas. We had that whole place like nice and like Christmas
know.
up. We actually
Yeah.
spent time to like decorate and
That was one of my favorite things that we ever did. It's like every year we'd wrap the tree with like broken
the
SDI,
SDI
cables.
cable.
Oh god.
There's a PS5.
Yep, there's a projector. My God.
a fucking sick ass.
I haven't looked at this since this. all
I haven't.
happened.
No, I haven't. It popped up on my memories for a little bit, and I had a hard time watching.
When I go through these like times, I always think like, oh, there's a lesson here. I don't think there's really a lesson, like other than like
No,
don't
the-
get too comfortable.
You know, the lesson
Yeah.
is
Don't
anything
park in
can
the
happen.
back.
Just shit happens, life happens, and when it does, like
Just
you just can't. Like you can't stop it. You can't predict it. Like
when life gives you lemons, just say fuck the lemons and.
I know what lesson I learned. Buy property uphill.
yeah.
Never buy property downhill, uphill.
Shit. And don't start it in the basement.
But then the fires
There's
get
a-
you uphill.
Right.
There's the cage that
Yeah, that
buckled the whole
door,
wall.
the whole
street
wall
level.
being
We're
held
not
by that.
really basement. Like we're
We were at like a street level. Yeah, we had a
because our
street
front door
entrance.
is on the street.
It was.
Oh, the poor psych wall.
That psych wall like could have had years of work.
No.
That psych wall could
I
have.
sprayed that cycle.
Yeah.
I
think
just,
we all
I
took turns
destroyed
painting
that
it.
psych wall.
I think every time we repainted it, we were all like so proud of it. Every single time we repainted it, like
Painting
that
that
looks
floor was a
good.
bitch.
Yeah. it did
We
look
don't have
good.
footage of us breaking the TVs.
Oh no, there's no footage of us
Of our,
going full
rage
No,
room.
like,
rec
no,
room.
seriously. Like I think that was definitely needed. I actually think out of all of us, I think you were the one because we were all in there taking wax at it. And we're
Oh,
like, Where's
Walter,
Walter?
Walter still needed
Walter,
an outlet. He was
yeah.
the one that's still being reserved.
Yeah, and then like Walter came in and he's like, I don't want to do it. And, and we're
There's
all
the
like,
lazy
you have
you
to.
should really do it. And then you went
I didn't
to
wanna do it.
town.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it.
No, you were
cut
like, it was like
yourself.
bat, bat, bat. You were
Didn't
like,
you cut
You
yourself?
cut your hand.
Bing, boom,
You
bop.
cut your hand, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I cut it. I don't remember where, but I cut it pretty bad.
That's
But
what
yeah,
I
I
was
didn't
worried
wanna- I
about.
didn't wanna
Was
do it.
just us being
Brought to you by
stupid
VMix.
Yeah.
and potentially hurting
My
ourselves.
mouse pad.
Yeah.
we took a
It
goddamn
wasn't bad, though.
crowbar.
It wasn't bad.
We were fucking tossing hammers at windows.
No, I heard you guys. I heard you guys, and I was like,
Because
I
I
don't
wasn't
want to do
there for
that.
that.
Well, I
don't
mean, there
wanna
was
do
so
Oh, yeah,
much
that
feeling.
was after Vegas. I think you were sick because you were feeling ill.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, when we were in
Which-
Vegas, we were driving to
sick.
the hotel, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Can we go faster?"
Yeah.
As soon as I got out,
Well,
I
I'm
had to go to the
surprised that
bathroom
none of us
immediately.
got actually sick.
Yeah.
Like,
Glad
you
none
know,
of us
because we were
did.
all swimming in this for
Thank
days.
goodness,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Days. And then like after it like finally like dried and we got all the water out, you're still breathing that in.
Yeah, the mall.
So the fact
Those
that we
pictures?
Those
the
are all
card.
baseball
Those are
cards.
good.
I'm like, damn, what is that?
My grandfather's vintage collection.
But
Probably
we, but
wasn't-
we saved the good ones.
We saved the good ones.
Oh yeah, where's our Josh Allen? Didn't we save Josh
still
Allen?
have
Oh my gosh, that was my favorite part because that was like so far down. That wasn't until like the third day.
there's my pop hat.
Yeah,
Oh.
Well, you guys found it. So
yeah.
I'm
We
putting
tried
it
to
back
save
together.
all of our pop funks, but yeah, the Josh Allen card. I was looking far and wide for it, and it ended up being in the garage underneath one of the collapsed shelves. Like
You,
it was like
screamed it.
I was so excited.
Hey, he might win the Super Bowl this year.
And we should sell it at said point.
Right.
He could win MVP and he could win the
He
Super Bowl.
might win the Super Bowl this year.
Hey,
He might win the Super Bowl this year.
As far as the Rage Room stuff goes, my favorite was all of the push-to-talk microphones that we left out for the D&D podcast. I one by one shucked them through the psych wall. I was so angry. I grabbed him by the gooseneck and I just like, I hurled. I was so just, I needed that.
You found my dress.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
But I think, and I saw the video somewhere here, but I think my favorite moment
Coca-Cola survived.
coming out of it
isn't that
all.
the it's on your desk?
The what?
I don't know, but it's definitely an homage. Now I look at all my shit, I'm like, I'm just biting off a Fale like all the time. I'm like, I'm not even original. Like,
Oh my goodness.
so I don't know. I hope so.
Here,
Like down to the picking of the type of doors, picking the type of locks.
Yeah, for real.
Having the locks installed the day of a show, me getting pissed because our contractor couldn't get them installed in time. So we had a client coming down that he was still working on the door locks, and I was like, dude, like every aspect of this thing, like we picked out and like made
All-
ours.
Kyle and I putting the baseboards down, like glue real, like
Oh, just hours. There's hours of just us on our hands and knees.
Dude, I took all the experience from my uncles in drywall. I was having a good
Lindsay,
time.
talk about the mural. We've seen it enough times. Like your dad did such great work.
and it wasn't even just him. I was just looking on my computer, like I mocked this up. Like I was pulling different photos and stuff to actually
didn't
put
know
it
you mocked
together.
this up.
Yeah, no, I completely designed it. I just can't draw, so call him the big guns for that. But it was entirely my design, and doing that with my dad was something I will cherish forever. I'm so happy that we got to do that, but seeing it go.
That's what we
Was
should
it
have.
your idea for the Easter?
should've
eggs
got
for
our
Nate?
little
No, that was
cutouts.
him, and he
That
did
was
that
him.
while
Yeah.
I was gone.
Oh, okay.
But
So just so everyone knows, like Lindsay's dad, he etched our names secretively into the wall.
Almost all of our names.
almost all of them.
Almost all of them.
We
No,
will not.
no, Walter.
I'm sorry, Walter. Sorry, Josh. You were too new still.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I saw these guys' names, but I didn't see yours anywhere. I always
I
looked.
think we cut it out. I have mine.
His was
tomorrow.
like
Yeah.
in like the clouds behind the golf
But I mean,
course.
even when
But
the
you
wall
would
was
think
still
like
up
I'm the
there.
boyfriend, and you think she'd like
It's one of the
like
last
make it
things that
nice
we
and
did.
like
One of-
big.
one of
Oh,
the
he was
last
like really
things
trying to
that
hide
we
it.
did was-
he's not
I
gonna
don't
last.
know if this
We
guy's
chopped
gonna make it here.
We
our
saw them
names.
out.
Yeah, we sawed them out, and I still have mine. It's in my garage. I'm gonna put it in my wall.
There you go.
Obviously,
that's
the wall was amazing. I mean, that's something like so special like that.
Oh my gosh.
It's just one of those things to where now like I have a different lens on murals. Like they're obviously fantastic, but they are locked in.
Yeah.
And so when something unfortunate might happen, you have to part ways.
And those murals, like we're near Barrio Logan. Like murals is a thing down in Chicano Park. Like so, it just went hand in hand for the area.
The
from-
area, yeah,
We,
absolutely.
I make a joke, but I it's like funny but true. But we were gentrifying my own neighborhood, like, and that's like, I know. Look at that.
This is funny. I brought this in the Friday before the flood.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, maybe I should just mistake.
No, and the space was amazing. Like we were very lucky to do what we
Oh,
got
are you
to
gonna
do.
go? Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, if you go back a little bit, I was
where you
parked
park.
literally just out of the range of the water.
Thank God.
Go for
You're like up
Pause.
this hill, right?
Pause, right
Yep, there
there.
you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Is that it right? Yeah.
That's
Yep.
my car. So like the water got all the way up to my back tires.
No way.
The blue car. right in front of the white van.
Mm-hmm.
The water was all the way up. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
So fortunately, my car was saved. I'm sorry, Walter.
Sorry, Walt.
I'm still feeling it.
You loved Bella. You were all about her.
Yeah.
You know, and of context, right? You know, there was many people that lost their actual homes.
Yeah.
You know, this was yes, a business, that was but near and dear to us, but we did, you know, we didn't lose our homes, you know. So, you know, people to this day are still fighting with the city, are still trying to get funds, are still rebuilding.
yeah.
You know, I can't imagine that, you know.
Yeah.
No, it's a testament to Fale too, because like there are so many people that lost businesses, and like we got so many phone calls, which again, thank you everybody for the support and the love, and like people wanted to donate gear, cameras, mics, and things like that. And the people wanted to start Kickstarter campaigns, and Fale's like, give the money to someone that actually needs it. We still have the business, we still have the people.
Yeah.
And I think that was your point all along, is like as long as the people are here and we're okay, we're gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I was saying, we had a pretty good 23. So, and I was still wasn't sure about the insurance situation, but I figured, you know, assuming that we were healthy and we were, you know, okay to keep working, like we weren't going to lose much work other than, you know, anything we had booked in the studio, which wasn't that much at that point. And so I just knew a lot of people, especially up in San Diego Made or other places, like that's it, like they're done. So like if money's going to come in, like sure, that might help us buy like a $500 monitor, or that might go to them being able to pay an employee, like give them the money, like no matter what, we'll make sure you guys are good. But like, yeah, I don't know. I just felt like a lot of people saw what we did, and obviously it looked like. Oh, sorry, Julian, you're gonna hear that. You know, they're gonna see our situation and be like, we're the ones that got hit the most, and like, yes, to a certain extent we were, but also on the same front, like, thank God, like our business is enough to where we can still make it work without a lot of that gear. We have great vendors that partner with. So Kurt, shout out to you.
Shout out.
You know,
to
John
the
Roy,
biggest
shout out to you.
out.
Toby, shout out to you.
Toby, shout out to
Man.
you. Just the guys
Killer
that, you know,
partners.
we've been working with for a long time that helped us out in our time of need, that at the end of the day, we're going to be okay. Like we got great partners, great clients, great community. So for those people that didn't have it or just had a lack of or whatever, like the money needs to go there. So
And that's leadership, right? That's
Assessing the playing field.
that's leader. You know, and again, that's I brought up earlier, making decisions in an emotional time to keep it together and to have a vision and to hold steadfast. I think if that's a term. I mean, thank you, Fale.
well, I mean, and I've told you before, like I wouldn't have done this if it wasn't you guys. Like if it was a different group of people, dynamics would have been different. You know, intentions would have been different, and I'm sure, you know, we'd be somewhere else or whatever the case is. But because it's specifically you guys, like I knew that if you guys were in lockstep with each other and with what we're trying to do, like we were going to be fine.
Yeah.
Like each one of you brought like a certain confidence and a certain mannerism with you. Like even the day of, like I would hear, and I know we were, you know, going through whatever trauma and it was just hysterical, but just hearing you guys talk to each other and the way that you were kind of joking or laughing and like, again, a lot of other people would have like, and I'm sure we all had our moments where we like, you know, broke down or whatever, but like through the entire situation would have just been weeping and like, it's over and like, fuck this shit. And like, I'm out, like no more. And like, yeah, again, we've all had our moments, but at the end of the day, like your resolve for each of you was like there. So.
We all kind of like either stepped away or had a moment with each
Oh,
other.
for sure.
You guys stepped away together.
So I.
It's my story.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Go ahead.
Go.
No, go ahead.
Go.
No, you guys had a moment. We had a moment. That's all. That was my setup. Go ahead.
He teed you up, Kyle.
I'll
Go,
teed you
Kyle,
up,
go.
and then I'll tell you about our moment later.
I had done a good job because like when everything happened, it all happened so fast that I didn't have time to actually react. Like react or elicit an emotional response. I had to react just with my body and just kind of go and do where I'm needed. And you did the same thing. You did the same thing. And then when everyone was there, we were just moving. So I think I went like the first like 3-4 days without like actually eliciting an emotional response until you caught me in the control room. And I was like, oh, fuck, no, get me the fuck out of here. and I think you even said, like, it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
And that's what got me done.
Yeah.
Like waterworks. I was
needed it.
I was just like, yeah, and it, like to know that we went through that experience and we can lean on each other that way was like something like that you can't take for granted. You just can't. So I appreciate you because I probably did need it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And I know that we all like, just like with you with the wall.
I was going through many, like my 3-year run before this even happened was crazy. So
You're the wall.
yeah, but
Still.
for that to happen,
It's never not
and
the year
then,
of the wall.
like we just said, like people actually lost their homes, and that's 100%.
Yeah.
But in a personal level, like I lost my truck, and we lost the business. We didn't lose the business. We lost our studio and everything. That was hurtful, and I was feeling it, but I was really feeling like my truck is gone, and I have to start all the way over. And that's where I was like, I don't want to go hit the TV because I don't know what I'm going to give out in that moment. And it just came out when we did hit the TV. But I was like, man, I'm dealing with the DUI. I'm dealing with extra bills. Now my truck is gone. Now I got to pay for everything to get taken out of the truck that I just paid all this money to put into the truck. And y'all, the DUI people, the courts, they're not working with me. I'm just like, bro, I just lost like how I'm going to get to and from work.
I don't even have shoes.
I don't have shoes right now. So I was going through some other things too.
No,
She's floated away.
You had layers. That was just
it
like
was
the
crazy.
cherry on top of like a shit sundae.
Did I tell you guys before or after the floods that Sam was pregnant?
It was after.
It was after. I knew. I
don't
like
remember.
knew. I knew
No, I
like
think
that
I
was
knew
before.
you because we did our review.
Yeah, you did the
We did the review and like so I knew like 2 weeks ahead and like I remember having like conversation because obviously
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no, it was a surprise. And so like I was like sitting there with Sam and kind of like breaking down our finances and breaking down everything. I'm like, at least we got The Office.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And then that all happened, and I just, it was like a surreal moment of just like nothing is guaranteed. Like
You're holding your cards close to your chest because you didn't even tell me while we were on gig together. And I remember I was like saying things out of context because I don't know he has another kid. Like, imagine if you had another one.
You did say that. Oh, you did. You were at the bar. It's just like, can you imagine if Sam was pregnant right now?
Oh my god! Wow, you did hold it close then.
My eyes started to twitch. I'm just like,
Yeah. That was crazy.
It's funny. I think you guys, or just being in this industry and doing the work that we do, like even subliminally, like prepared you guys to do and react the way you guys did.
Live events.
Because
it's a testament to the
because
industry.
like when shit happens, like there's not much thought. Like you just gotta do.
You gotta go.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's no time. You
We
just have
gotta
to-
go! We gotta go!
So the fact that each one of you kind of like instinctively, jumped into that role and like just did what you needed to do. Like again, if it was a bakery shop or whatever, no offense to bakers, but like,
But I would have gave up.
bakers.
you know what I mean? Like they'd be like,
Fuck those
Bread's all
ovens.
soggy
you
now.
know exactly, right? So
I'm not buying another $30,000 oven.
Yeah, the industry kind of training I think also helped too.
Yeah.
No,
turn that on.
We
it's-
adapted quickly. We reacted to the task at hand.
Exactly.
So Derek, just so you know, every day you're on show is like a flood.
It
So
it kind of is.
If you're not treading water enough, you can start to drown.
You make good money, but you'll go through it.
But you will drown in poop water.
No.
So welcome to the club.
Jesus, that's facts.
Dosey doing a little bit back to like the bonding experience too, and like how we all had our moments. I don't think anything will top this moment here, Kyle, which was us finally getting the last bit of the water out of here. And side by side, it was like a tag team. It was you and me and Julian and David Bazabal.
Yep.
And we're just like sending like tidal waves back out. Because
Yep.
at a certain point, the water wasn't able to escape. So we
you
had
had
to
to.
manually get the rest of it out.
That looked like when we were doing the floors.
And yeah, Kyle, just you and me side by side, we're like, well, fucking, we polished these floors.
Right?
Let's get the fucking shit out of here.
No, that there was a symbolism moment there where it was just like no, we're still going.
Yeah.
We're still going. We're still in it. Like even like you guys came back from Vegas and you guys put on a good show. Is what I found out. You were crying in the corner, but you put on a show.
yeah.
You made it happen. And you put on a good show in Vegas, and then you came back and got the bad juju out of the space.
Hey, the Vegas show was
right
so
here.
crazy.
The Vegas show was
Vegas
like
show
a
was
fever
so-
dream.
Yeah, it was nuts. Like, in that
It
moment
really
we were in
was.
Vegas, I was like, I'm gonna be the Rock here because she was going through it. Josh had just got some bad news. I didn't know what Fale was going through, but I know he was going through it. I was like, I'm gonna be the guy.
All I remember is like Lindsay calling me. She's like, I'm not doing well.
I'm not doing
So
well.
I'm over here trying to do my best as a
Man.
boyfriend as well. It's like, you gotta get Lindsay home now.
I did get that
Oh
call.
yeah,
gosh.
like we were at the bar, just trying to like reflect and just kind of like decompress. And then he's getting texts from you. You're like, I'm not okay, and he's like, Kyle, get me on the first flight out here. And I'm like, I need you.
It's like,
There was layers. There was we
There
like
was so
we talked
many
about. We didn't
layers,
have
like-
time to process. We
No.
just
We
we
didn't.
jumped, and
We
so
didn't.
there
We
was
just went to
still
it.
a lot. And then yeah.
The best part of Vegas was them strawberries. I tell you that.
Those chocolate
Some things were so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Julian, like,
No, I thought you were talking about the meal you had at Vidar, where you just like we sat down and the food was gone. Like, do you remember this one? Like, I forget. We got something from Cosmo. We brought it back. We sat down at Vidar Hotel, and like Lindsay and I barely like taken a couple bites, and your plate is empty.
I
You
probably was having a
needed that.
diabetic. I think I was having a diabetic feet or fit
Well,
right
that's
there.
when we had the best onion rings too. May
Yeah.
they rest
you
in
guys
peace.
called back
milkshakes.
about those onion rings.
Oh my god.
The
And
lettuce
that place is
wrap
gone
or
now,
the burger
so-
wrap.
And him and I were just pissed off because we didn't get any fucking onion rings. So
just
we're
trying
just like,
to
we're like, what the
figure- we're
fuck?
just drinking
You
and
were
trying to
still
figure
in
it
your
out.
own beds.
But we
you
did
know?
stay at the Silver Sevens, which was an experience.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, we were staying
The
at
Silver
Vidara.
Sevens? Oh my god.
I'm getting another
dude.
beer.
We were staying at like the armpit of something. I don't know.
Can you grab me one too?
The Silver Sevens, the lady was not trying to get Folly a room.
No.
I was like,
Oh yeah, you told me that you
can
got
we
him a
just get my
room.
man a room, please? Can we just get a
So
room?
You're the
guys?
Silver Sevens. Like, relax. Like you ain't fucking know.
So we've lost our work home. We're in Vegas, and now we're at the Silver Sevens.
We're at the Silver Sevens, and she's like, well, we don't have any more rooms. You got to find a room down the street. And I'm like, are you really about to make this guy go all the way over there to get my man a room?
I
Get my man a
split
room.
second, Folly. Like I really thought like we were gonna get a phone call. It's like, Folly bet everything.
On black on 27 what? On
25 black.
25
black.
black.
Hey, I would have been totally fine with that.
Long Island, 2 Long Islands.
2 Long Islands, 25 black.
Two of them things.
You know,
While me and Kyle over here like making a set in the hotel room.
Oh my god.
Like if it was
it
like
was a nicer hotel room than the Silver
Yeah,
Sevens.
it was, but
It was.
hotel rooms don't
No.
like when people go and like shoot stuff in their
No,
room.
they thought we were filming a porno.
I felt like we were.
Yeah.
You're bringing a bunch of cameras
No,
to
we're
a
just like
hotel
rolling
room.
it in, and like
Shit.
the person at the lobby, she's like,
We're over here flipping the bed up and like getting the
we
shot.
moved that, we turned that whole hotel room over, and actually the shots turned out actually pretty
It was a
good.
good shoot. It
Yeah,
was a good
and then
shoot.
and then they made us talk.
Yeah.
They made us. They made
Oh,
us talk.
they well, because Kyle, shared with Angel Con what was going on. I believe it was that's
Oh,
what
you
it
guys
was,
gave
right?
a speech?
I gave a
They
speech.
they asked him
Sylvia
to
make you.
they asked
Yeah.
him to speak in front of the group.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Um,
I honestly don't remember a thing I said.
Whatever I did, it was clear. It was just exactly what it needed to be from what I remember. I think he gave me like one of these. I'm like, no, I don't want to go. I just stood next to him. Like,
Yeah, he said
What he said.
I was like, it's Kyle. He's the guy. From what I remember, yeah, you were clear. But it's such a weird position. It's such a weird thing. Of
Yeah.
course, yeah. I mean, if you're asking, we're gonna tell you our story. We're not asking for anything, but like, it's just I don't know. It's just
a relationship.
Public speaking overall is a weird
Yeah,
thing.
well, it's weird. It's like if it's not something you're accustomed to, and then on top of that,
A
you're going
tragedy.
through trauma,
Yeah.
and you and I are trying to take care of each other at the
Yeah.
same time. It's
While
like,
other shit's falling
while
apart.
other shit's falling apart,
Yeah.
it's just like, can I really talk in front of people that are investing like thousands and thousands of dollars? Like I don't know. if I
And
could
it's that's what I thought. I'm like, well, like kind of like, what's the what's the point?
Yeah.
Not to just like think. Oh, I think everyone should that gives us a platform or anything
Yeah.
like that. But it's just like it's just a weird thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Yeah.
it's not shame, but it's like what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going through it.
Well,
let me go through it alone.
you and I were up until like 3 a.m.
That was our bonding experience.
so context, like the hotel had given us a room to shoot, which was behind the event, like in a closet. And so not only could we conduct these interviews like in the closet, because then they would go out into the event that they were then filming. Like it's also like just this dark, like little 10 by 10 room. I'm like, I can't shoot here. I'm not gonna give you. We can't give you. So they booked us a hotel, and because like the hotel was so tight, you and I worked until like 4 p.m. to like 3 a.m. in the morning, flipping this room, like trying to make it work.
Yeah.
Because also the sun was coming up. Like give us the sun. We're like,
Yeah, for
how's
me,
gonna
it
look?
was finally my moment of like like bringing lowering the gear. Like, all right, we're shooting again. Our team is shooting over there. We're in between like people or interviewees, and we're just like watching movies and just chilling. And that was finally my moment of like relaxation of I'm finally like letting I'm okay.
Yeah, there was a moment and I hope that you guys experience this in Vegas at some point, but at least like going
bar.
on show and like just doing the things that we know that we're good at, the things that we've polished. Like there was that moment of like normalism for a minute, for just like a brief moment.
Yes,
And
definitely.
like it went away fast.
Yeah.
But overall, like Julian and I were sitting there in between shoots, and like him and I were just kind of bullshitting, and it felt good for a second. It felt good for a second, and we kind of like checked out for a second, and to be able to have those moments, man.
I mean, yeah, I can attest to, I guess, like probably when we were setting up and like unloading the van and stuff, like, because we're just moving
'Cause
and grooving, and it's just like
yeah.
your brain isn't sitting there. But the hard part for us, at least you guys were able to like, it was faster pace for us, like sitting for hours. Listening to whatever we're listening to, like I'm just sitting there in feelings. I'm just like, so like that was hard because like there was nothing to distract me at that point.
Yeah.
So that was hard because there was a lot of ruminating there.
Do you remember any of the talks?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
we
this
remember one.
But we're not going to talk. We're not going to be too
this was
explicit.
a very entertaining conference.
We're not going to be too explicit here.
It was an entertaining conference.
Yes.
Okay.
For
Stop there.
a plethora of reasons. Yes.
Okay.
It was a lot.
Cool.
It was a lot.
Yes.
Vegas. I'm trying to remember how a lot of the strawberries were it. The talks are
Strawberries,
crazy.
we went up to the bar over at by Italy, the one kind of bar off to the side.
Yes.
And you guys went off and had your talk.
Yep.
Yes.
And
We
then,
we walked to the Excalibur.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Oh my God.
Good time.
Wow. Yeah.
And then
you met Oklahoma.
That's
at
right.
the table.
Because that's what we were in the
Yeah.
New York. So we went from the Excalibur back to New York, New York. You're doing 5-card poker, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Oklahoma.
I don't think that we gambled too much.
What's Oklahoma?
She was just next to me. She was talking about her horse and cows the whole
she
time.
was feeling folly.
And I was like,
Five-card
no,
poker
she wasn't. And I was like, you know who has family in Oklahoma is this guy.
Pawn it up, pawn it up.
Oklahoma. Vegas, that trip was crazy. It was just, it was a lot.
and then
Remind me,
didn't we go to Area 15?
Yeah.
We did, yeah,
We
with
got
Josh.
our
Yes.
tarots read or whatever.
We did. Yeah. Yeah, we were the same. We got the same. Yeah.
Something.
Mine's, yeah.
We did. Damn, I forgot all about that.
So we tried. We definitely tried to like distract our
Yeah.
minds.
The
and
last day is
obviously,
when
you
we
know,
got to have those moments. The last
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, but it was still, there was just so much still looming because obviously that was before we came back. And
You
then
had to come back to
got
it.
the water
You
out.
had to come back to it.
Yeah.
And then
the
the whole
water is
still
dumpster
there.
day.
Yeah.
All the
shout-
trash was still there.
Super shout out to Humble for real. Like
Yeah.
they put us up for a couple days. And
Giving us the space to
Just-
put our gear, work on our gear.
Blow dry our gear.
Laura, Dennis, all of you. Like you
Dennis,
guys,
yeah,
you guys
Laura,
took care
oh
of
my
us.
God.
Yeah.
Family. That's family right there.
That was cool.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah.
Because they took a big hit too.
Well, they had
Well, no, they
just
just-
moved
they-
out.
they-
Yeah, but they still had things
They
in the
just
space.
Yeah, but I
like,
mean the majority of their stuff
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
gone
yeah,
already,
yeah,
so-
yeah.
Timing worked out well for
Yeah.
them.
Yes,
Yeah.
timing
Got
was.
it
Yep,
right on
yep.
time.
You did good.
you know, going back to what you had said, Folly, about just, you know, knowing that we didn't necessarily lose as drastically, maybe as like people with their homes or other smaller businesses. It is interesting though to think like we probably took on the most water.
Oh yeah.
Like
did.
of like
We
if
did.
you individual homes not big enough. Like
Yeah.
you know we took on the most water.
Well, no.
I
There
will-
was the one house behind the fence that did get washed away.
That's
What?
right.
No, I didn't
Oh,
know
the guy in the
that.
corner?
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
like
they
in
got
front
the
of where
corner.
Walter's car
Yeah.
like
I know,
landed.
yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
remember the
No.
parking
Yeah,
garage?
house gone.
You guys remember the parking
Completely
garage?
gone.
I didn't know that.
You mean the cars that were
Oh,
bobbing
that's
for apples?
right.
The parking garage across from us.
All the
gate.
cars
all the
that
cars
were gone.
just bobbing.
They were bobbing
That
and
is
all of their
bobbing.
alarms were going
Yeah, all
off.
of them.
Yeah.
That gate,
whole
they couldn't get the
complex of
gate
cars.
open.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it
couldn't-
had to
couldn't
have
get-
been 40
So-
plus.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah,
Wow.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Jeez.
I felt bad for them looking at my truck, and I was like, at least I can maybe
Well,
move my car, but yours
again,
is like stuck.
Context, right? Like, so we're at the bottom of a hill. We are at the end of a draining system, like
the drain
like where
system.
like all the draining
There were
system
like 5
is.
drains right
We're
there.
technically like, yes, we're at street level at one point, but we're technically at the like basement of the building. So it's like variable after variable after variable that lead to this one big thing. So like each of those variables added another foot of water. We're at the bottom of the hill. Boom. We're
Literally
we're
like
at a
2 hills,
basement.
just like
Boom.
that.
We're literally at the at the cusp, and we did know it had happened before.
Not
in
like that.
space.
Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
had
not
had
like
just
that.
Never like that, of course, and that's what I'm saying.
water
like,
seeping
never
in.
like that.
Water
Yeah.
seeping in.
But
I always thought like it'd be like a fire or an earthquake or something like that. Like if
Or
it
just
was ever a
theft, like we would get
or
looted.
theft,
or-
or yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah.
it was a
anyone
rough
could have
area.
broken that. Like it was
No.
some of those windows like
Oh,
were
yeah.
just like
Yeah.
not and
We
you
had
know,
one
but
cracked open.
whatever.
I will say though, I mean, firsthand we experienced though, and for whatever controversial thing I'll say here, like there was something seriously flawed with the city of San Diego. Like we were at the bottom of a hill, but there were drains. There were 4 to 5 of them right there
It had
that just
no
stopped working.
business
So-
getting that high.
So
It
from what I
was
remember,
a tremendous failure.
from what I
Yeah.
remember, there were specific pumps that haven't been working for years.
yeah.
Because like these areas that are below sea level, they have pumps
To get the
push
water
it-
up and out,
Not
yeah.
up and out, but towards the
along.
system, towards
Move-
down,
yeah,
down,
through
down
the system.
Flow,
Yeah.
just flow.
Yeah.
So in PB they failed, in downtown they failed, because in downtown from
Yeah, there was some
even
water
from
downtown.
my mom's place, there was these videos of sewers just like if it were a fire
Coming
hydrant.
water up out of
Oh,
it.
wow.
And
Yeah.
that means these pumps weren't pushing that out. So
weren't
yes,
doing it.
this was a complete failure on the city. And yeah, myself, I used to live in those, not live, but I mean, spend a lot of time in those canals because you could skate them, because you could skate them like little half pipes. And yet, forever, they have been so mismanaged. There was feet of dirt and trees. There was palm trees in these canals.
Yeah, it was bad.
So yes, the city had a lot of the blame. I would say, like it was so blatantly in your face that it's like
Yeah. A river of water does not just go down Commercial Street, which is one of the widest streets because that's where the trolley is. It was a river. So yeah, there was something seriously that went wrong.
and what, like next 3 days, all of a sudden they go in there and clean it all up. I mean, come on,
Too little,
man.
too late,
Too little,
unfortunately.
too late. Like
Yeah.
Can we just? I'm looking through this and just like I just keep on like noticing like little trinkets that we have given each other, like through the years. Like obviously now we're in the warehouse, but like I just saw like the little Spider-Man thing. I gave you.
I saved it.
Thank you
Yeah,
for saving that. That's
up
still on
there
your
on the-
desk.
It's still here.
No,
It's in the
up on the
kitchen.
shelf up there.
It's on the shelf. Yeah, like that's probably the hardest part.
The mementos.
The mementos,
Things you
the,
can't replace.
the memories.
Yeah.
The memories. Like there's just so many memories. Like good,
And from our shows, even just
Yes.
like mementos from all of our shows. I always loved putting
that
those
shelf.
on the shelf.
Yeah, they're like those are like our trophy case.
The moment I thought
know?
I lost my Darth Maul card.
Oh yeah, that's when you broke down and started crying. That
I remember it was so funny because I gave you the choice of the two, and then you chose the Darth Maul box.
What was the other choice, or was there?
I had two boxes.
Wars?
Two boxes.
Yeah, I
you
chose the
chose
right
the-
one.
yeah, you chose the
I
right
know.
one.
The other one was
Some
something
bullshit.
obscure.
Yeah.
No, thank God.
Oh, you know what else was saved? That trophy.
What trophy?
we don't.
Yeah.
We're not talking
We
about
don't
that.
talk about that. This is
What do you yell about? You lost this year. What do you yell about? Yeah. Ain't nothing to yell about.
Yeah, this is crazy.
Oh my
But
god.
no, I mean, you know, the people that went through this were homes and families, and you know, this was our home away from home, and we're a family, and we went through it. Just like I don't want to demean what we went through, because we went through something just as traumatic. Yes, they weren't our, like, you know, it wasn't our personal homes and stuff, but I really can't not say that it affected me very much. And honestly, it took me a long time. It took me up until a couple weeks ago, probably.
I'm still going through it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It took me to like the new year to really try to like put that behind me, because I mean, again, like even then, how do you manage your emotions then? I didn't realize it would, you know, take that long to try to sift through.
But here we are now.
Yeah.
Here we are. Yeah, and honestly, like we are already so like tight knit, like family status, like brothers and sisters, like before this happened, and then if anything, going through a traumatic experience like solidifies that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, obviously it's a traumatic experience, but like I really try to approach everything glass half full kind of thing. And
He's laughing at your
No,
sentiments.
I love your sentiment. I'm laughing at the fact that the wall was already painted over.
What?
So Kristen would come in.
The decal.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't it. That's a no for me, though.
Oh.
That's enough.
Well, that also had only happened like maybe like a month
Days
before.
No, it was probably
Less
a
than
couple
that.
weeks before.
A couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really recent. Yeah.
get that shit out of here.
Like you see our mural, right? Like we have a threshold here, like.
Oh goodness.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
But
I love
again,
you all.
we all had our hand in it, from the lights, from the screens on the side.
The freaking soundproofing in the ceiling, the rock
Soundproofing.
wall, the vinyl, the sound vinyl.
We
that you
actually,
put up
we
into.
did that appropriately. Like we actually approached that like in a very
Guess
like,
what? That survived.
Of course. Yeah,
The
right.
ceiling. It didn't
Yeah.
hit there.
Oh yeah, that survived.
Probably not there now.
So the
It
floor
might have
survived?
though if no one had been in the office.
The floor and the ceiling.
Well, hold on. That SDI decoration is still on that pole right there.
It is. Oh my
That
goodness.
still might be there till this day right
It
now.
probably
Oh my
is.
No, I'm pretty
Let's
sure
go back
he
and
ripped
check
all
real
that
quick.
out. Yeah, I'm pretty
I
sure.
will say though, like a lot of square footage is a lot of work. That was a lot of water to clear out, and it was a lot of garbage to sift through, and it was a lot of shit to throw away. Like you said, like 4 of those industrial size. Throwing our Ursas in there, throwing the MacBook in there,
Ursas were
throwing
hurtful.
it was
Throwing the
just
QSCs or subs. Like,
Subs.
subs.
man,
Oh
the
my
subs.
gosh.
Yeah, Julian, you lost your entire department.
Oh yeah, the whole audio
Like,
department.
I
flooded.
didn't do audio for like 7 months. I didn't even like the first time I did audio, I was so nervous again afterwards. I was like, do I still remember how? I don't know
this board.
Have you guys been back there since then?
I
haven't been back.
No.
I avoided it.
There's been one last time me and him were there.
Yeah, no.
So
I'm good. I'm good.
So we go, we go and shoot. We have a shoot at San Diego, Maine.
Oh,
We could have had more sympathy from the owner.
That's facts.
You know, if one of us
facts.
would have
What a
left the
valid
faucet on
argument.
and caused this, obviously, but we were the victims of a natural disaster. And there's, you know, something that it's a tough pill for anyone to swallow. No one plans that. No one knows how to react to that. And we were doing the best we could. And that's all we could do at that moment. And what we were able to do, and how, like you said, Folly, how we were able to compose ourselves in such a situation is a testament to all of us. And it's unfortunate that there are other people in this world that don't share some of that.
And
that
that
was
is
trash.
how
Per my last email.
you pivot.
I did the calculation. So with
of course you did. Of course.
I've been waiting for this moment.
That's what you've been doing this whole time.
with 5,000 square feet, a height of 4.5 feet. I'm just being a little conservative. 168 or 168,312 gallons of water. That's
Shit water.
33.66 gallons per square foot.
Thank you, Josh.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a lot of water.
that's
Yes. So much water. And I'm just so grateful nobody got hurt. I wish, like all of us, that our security footage would have survived to see
man.
the initial tidal waves.
Oh, I wanted that footage so bad, dude.
But man, have we made it out to the other side.
The last part of this is the storage.
Oh God! I tried, you guys. I tried.
That was something.
I hated it. Every time I went there, I was like, 7 o'clock? I still got all this shit in the van. I'll just park it at my place.
Yeah, how long were we in that storage unit?
Almost
6
6
months.
months.
Yeah.
Well, I guess at the end of January, so 5-ish months.
Yeah.
And we didn't even have it 24 hours. They closed, right?
Yeah, it's 7, right?
Yeah, they had
7 p.m.
hours.
Open at what, 6 a.m.
I think so, something like that.
7 to 7.
That was honestly, I was fine with working at home. That was not the bad part, but that storage was.
I was still trying to convince Walter, like, no, that we just gotta, organize. He's like,
yeah.
where?
Elbow room.
Julie was doing the right thing by being positive and saying, we got to organize. But I was like, bruh,
How?
where the... I can't...
Can't even walk.
Well, hey, at least that one big old semi truck that got stuck.
Oh my
it
God.
was,
my
it was right
God.
before Strikeforce game. And I was like, wow, we're not gonna make a game because we can't get it to our gear because this fucking semi truck
Bottom down.
No, they even like walked up and they were
It
just
was
like,
blocking
we're
the
so
whole-
sorry about this. And I told them, I was like, it's okay. But in my mind, I'm like, fuck you!
But
We
you
got
gotta
shit to do! We gotta go!
For real, man. For
And
real.
on that note,
If you would like to see more of Borderboards Entertainment, please go to sandiegostable.com
Or
for
Word
more
on the Mouth
information.
Skid.
Word on the Mouth Skid.
Third on the nose, kid.
well,
There's no more nonsense.
thanks guys for taking this time. I appreciate you guys. I'm glad we got this out. I mean,
Is this your sign off?
yeah.
Okay, go.
Yeah. Oh no. I'm just thinking my sign off again is gonna be pre-recorded after
I
this.
think he wants to sign off.
No, Kyle, take us home.
No.
Kyle.
No,
I think
this
let's
is
do
yours.
let's do any last words. We'll go down the line like that way. If anyone has any last things
well,
to
we'll
say.
start with you, so we end with him. Then.
Okay, there you go. I mean, I kind of said what I wanted to say, but no, I mean, this was hopefully the most traumatic natural disaster any of us will ever experience. Fingers
hold on.
crossed.
But if it's not, you'll be ready for the next one.
We now have better tools
have
to
experience, you have a
handle
resume.
something crazy.
Yes.
And I will forever hold that place near and dear, but everything happens for a reason, and I'm happy that we are where we are now.
Yeah. We definitely survived. I'm just looking forward to putting it all behind. Like, looking at these pictures is crazy to me. Like, every time we click through one, I'm like, damn, I forgot. But looking at the new space now with the backdrop and our new office and all that, I'm just looking forward to 25. That's it.
Kind of like shows you what's important when things like this happen. And I love you all dearly, like every single one of you. I don't think I could have survived and gone through that whole experience without you guys. That was something traumatic, and I appreciate every single one of you.
No, I share your same sentiment there. Where if it was anyone else, it probably would have been a lot more difficult, and we probably wouldn't have performed, I guess, if you would say that, as well as we did under pressure, and did absolutely everything we could have done. And definitely, as you're saying, the lesson is you can always do the best you can, but no matter what, something happens that you can't have control over. You just got to get through it and push through and figure out what's next.
Thank you, Julian, for putting this together.
Yes.
Making us talk about it.
I know.
Julian!
Appreciate you. But yeah, I mean, look, we're here. We're in a new space. I'm grateful for every moment, period, that I get to do this with you guys, because it just makes me feel like a certain sense of accomplishment every day that we move forward, like to see where we came from, and obviously employee number one from back in the day, but from like no office to like crack house to like tiny upstairs office, and then building out 5,000 square feet, and then coming to a place like this, which is nicer or whatever. But just every step, you can look back and see the road traveled, and it just makes me appreciate like every moment that I've had with each one of you, and the fact that here today we can all look back, and even though there've been bumps in the road, like we can be extremely proud of everything we've done up to this point. So, snaps.
Snaps.
Thank you guys.
To piggyback off what Kyle said, no, we were living our I was living my dream job back then. I'm living my dream job now, and it could have easily all been washed away, but through our efforts and through our grit and wanting to move forward, again, testament to all of us. We are all very different, but we are all very alike in many ways, and it's the reason why we're here. And leadership has a lot to do with it. Yeah, it's the driving force. So thank you, Fale, for everything. But yeah, to kicking ass and taking names, because that's what we were doing before. That's what we're gonna continue to do to Finest City Entertainment.
To Finest City Entertainment.
Clink, clink, clink.
Clinky, 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 clinky.
And that's the word on the non-skin.
That's the word on the non-skin.
Snip, snip.
Skid, skid.